And from spooks to witch hunting, I'll also be talking to the actor, Richard Armitage, about the acclaimed stage production of The Crucible, that is, the toast of London. Now, whether saving the United Kingdom from terrorism in Spooks or saving the Hobbit kingdom of Middle-earth, Richard Armitage has had plenty of experience on screens big and small as an action hero. His latest role on stage in London is as John Proctor, the flawed and great hero of Arthur Miller's best-known play, The Crucible. One review said that this production was so good it hadn't been directed, but conjured as if by magic. Here is a brief glimpse.
What keeps you so late? It's almost dark.
What are you? I have seen your power. You will not deny it. What say you, mister?
I say, God is dead! Here, God damns our kind especially. We will burn together!
Now, it's got air conditioning, the theatre, but you leave drenched in sort of sweat because of the sheer emotion and power of this play. You're on stage, what, 3.5 hours, more or less, each time, 8 times a week, which adds up to a whole day on stage every week.
Yeah.
It must be physically shattering.
I kind of wish we could do it all in one day and then have the rest of the week off. But yeah, this is my Sunday morning voice. But yeah, it is. It's emotionally draining, and you know, we're about a third of the way through the run, but already the show is changing and evolving. It's still kind of moving forward. Yeah.
Does it make a difference to the audience in on the night? Can you feel a different audience every night?
Yeah, I've deliberately not read any of the reviews, but you can really sense what the audience is coming expecting. And they're living and breathing the show with us. They understand it so acutely, and they gasp and sigh in the right places. So it's really wonderful.
Now, this is a play which generations of school children have been given and told that it's all to do with the Red Scare, McCarthyism in America. I felt that it was not to do with that. It was a much deeper play about kind of human betrayal, what in the end makes a good human being.
Yeah, I think what's really magical about it as well is that Miller understood that he was writing about something which was happening to him, but he knew that it would happen again and again. And so he went further back in history and you know, went to Salem because he realized that by taking a parable, it would transcend his own time. He kind of understood that, and it has. And there are always witch hunts, and it's always very, very hard to speak against the current, I suppose, even today. Can I go back to your television work? Because Spooks is, I'm afraid, what most people know if I say afraid, but it was one of the very rare, long-running British series of that time. Most British series, you have 3 or 4 episodes and then they disappear again. Spooks went on for a long time. Did you feel that was a kind of as a big moment in the development of British drama of that kind, TV drama of? Yeah, I feel like Spooks is maybe the last of its kind as well. We shot on film, so it had a particular look to it. I joined the series in Series 7, but it always felt like it was a new event for me. And what I loved about it is that it was always just on the edge. It was slightly ahead of its time in terms of what was happening in the news.
And very political. There was always a political line. It was about Islamism, it was about right-wing groups. There was always some kind of news-related theme. And I think you had specialists from MI6 and people helping you.
We did, and when I went into the show, we had someone from the CIA and someone from the the Russian spy. FSB, TSB. No, it was just very interesting to talk to those two opposites.
Really fascinating.
Fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was a great series. Now, if I may say so, you don't look like a hobbit. You look a bit big for a hobbit. How did that happen? Was it a big surprise?
Yes, it was. It was something that I was very surprised about. I questioned Peter Jackson about it endlessly, but he was adamant that he wanted big guys to fight like warriors in his movie, and so, you know, I see.
Everybody I've talked to who's been involved in the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings sequence talks about it with a kind of romantic enthusiasm, which is interesting. Did something sort of special happen? Was it the fact you all stuck out there in New Zealand? What was it? Because everyone has very, very fond memories of those films.
It's absolutely that. You know, you go. It feels like you're making a home movie in Peter Jackson's back garden. You know, New Zealand is such a magical place, and you do feel like you're entering Middle Earth. And you sit opposite Gandalf, and you know, he brings his cast to his dinner table, and you know, it's really a wonderful experience.
Just going back briefly to The Crucible, it seemed to me a Shakespearean play. I mean, it had the depth and intensity of the best Shakespeare, and it therefore made me wonder, do you see more big theatre roles coming up after this, or is it just so exhausting and shattering you think, enough already?
If you're asking me that today, I'd say enough already. But actually, yeah, no, there's a number of roles that I'd like to tackle, because when you take yourself to that kind of operatic level of performance and the depth of character, it's incredibly satisfying.
You think, I can do this, I can do it again?
Yeah, I didn't know if I could before I started, but I feel
you
like
can do.
I do now.
You can do. Richard Armitage, it's been an absolute privilege having you on. Thank you very much indeed for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.